Hello, hello! Welcome back to Brenda's Books. Today I will be narrating for you a lovers/haters cat story, so hopefully all of you can enjoy it. Next week I will bring to you a young adult love story, and this will be a regular short story, not the flash fiction stories you've heard so far this season. Flash fiction just means very short, so be looking forward to that. But today is a flash fiction story titled Princess. Here we go. Princess. The cat sat by the fan on the floor and purred. I wanted to like this cat, but I just didn't. Everyone who came to my house would go on and on about how beautiful she was. But to me, she was the ugliest animal alive. How could you love a creature that not only perpetually sat by the fan, but looked like the fan? They were both an ugly white and brown, and they had been sitting together so long that the hum of the fan and the purr of the cat almost sounded as if they were one. If anyone dared come near her, she would fan out her fur and hiss. Seriously, why was this cat so likable? I really wish my mom would get rid of the thing. But she loved her princess. The cat was somehow worthy of a royalty title, and I was not, her own daughter. I sat on my sofa, reading my favorite People magazine. That ugly cat kept staring at me. Perhaps my ash-blonde hair, which my dad affectionately refers to as the haystack, was especially wild today, because Princess peered at it like it could be her new ball of yarn. I propped my feet up on the coffee table in front of me and pretended not to notice. At 15 years old, I would never admit to anyone that I was afraid of cats. I mean, it's ridiculous enough to be afraid of dogs, but a cat? That's going overboard. But it's not my fault I'm afraid of felines. When I was 7 years old, I was completely mauled by one. I still can't think of the incident without trembling. I was playing hopscotch in the driveway with my friend Chloe, on a hopscotch we had drawn with sidewalk chalk. Doxy, her cat, was lying nearby, watching us. I threw my puck, landing it right on the number 10. Yes! I exclaimed. If I make it there and back, I win! I started hopping on the individual numbers, saying them out loud until I had 1 foot safely on the number 10. Vaguely, I noticed Doxy strolling beside me. I glanced at my foot on the ground, concentrating very hard on how I would spin around and stay on 1 foot without touching a line. I took a deep breath, jumped in the air, and landed right on Doxy's tail. Doxy yowled in protest. And of course, I lost my balance and tumbled to the ground, landing right on top of Doxy. She screeched again as I rolled off her. Doxy then clawed my face in frightened fury before scampering away. I wailed and wailed as I sat on the cement, wiping blood from my cheeks. The sight of blood on my hands only made my hysteria worse. Chloe rubbed my back and told me I was going to be okay over and over. I could tell she was getting frustrated with my perpetual shrieks, but I couldn't stop. I shivered as I came out of the disturbing memory, glowering at Princess, my own callous cat. She glowered back at me. What? I said out loud. What did I ever do to you? But Princess just stuck her nose in the air and licked her precious paws. I rolled my eyes and went back to reading my magazine when my phone buzzed. I picked it up to see I had a new messenger notification from Allie, my best friend. Don't look at Trent's feed. Why? He just hooked up with Christy. My heart dropped. Trent, the guy who led me on for weeks, then wanted to be together, then after a month of bliss suddenly dumped me. Now a week later he's hooked up with Christy? My chest flooded with rage, jealousy, and sadness all at once. Another message from Allie lit up my phone. Forget about it. Boys suck. Yeah. I shifted to put my feet up on the couch and lay my head back so I was flat on the cushions. I tried to keep the tears from falling, but they still came. Just then, Princess meowed and bounded up on top of me. I yelped in surprise. Get off of me, I said, afraid to touch her and provoke her. But Princess snuggled into my stomach and started to purr. She licked my hand and rubbed her head against my arm and snuggled into me again. Slowly, I pet her neck and back. She lifted her head and looked right at me. Somehow, she didn't look that ugly anymore. And that concludes Princess. This story gave birth from a writing prompt in one of my writing groups, and the prompt was use the word fan as much as you can. And so that's why there's the word fan a lot at the beginning. And then, of course, I finished it later. Anyway, I hope you come back next week for the young adult love story. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, take care.